Welcome to 9-Figure Life. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment the hidden message. Keep watching for a foolproof guide to increase your productivity tenfold. First trick, do not multitask. This first thing is what usually most people fail at the most. Multitasking may reduce your productivity. And now a new study shows that this may happen because multitasking interferes with certain types of brain activity. The results suggest that it is better to work on one task at a time than try to complete many tasks at once. This is because of a psychological and at the same time neurological effect that multitasking has on our brains. To understand a sequence of events happening over time, our brain must gather information about the events as they unfold and also absorb this information. We think because we're good at switching from one task to another that makes us good at multitasking. But having a great ability to lose focus isn't admirable, and in fact hurts your productivity in the long term, on top of tiring you down much faster than it should. Many CEOs are aware of this. Of course, there are times in our life when we don't have any option other than multitasking. So if you're able to avoid this, then please do. Second trick, ask yourself, what is my highest, best use? To be a jack of all trades is something reserved for the times of ancient history, when people like Leonardo da Vinci were good at several things. Right now, in order to stand out from the crowd, you have to be good at one thing. Well, not good, you have to be excellent at doing just that. CEOs are aware about what's their highest, best use, and those who are not are constantly asking themselves about it. Most people have many talents. They can play multiple musical instruments, speak a few languages, or run a 4-minute mile. They are good conversationalists and are interesting people to hang out around. You like them. Specialization makes every task more efficient. And while it's hard to focus exclusively on one thing, in order to be truly successful and efficient, you have to be open to specialization. Third trick, 5-task to-do list. One of the most important reasons for keeping a to-do list is the organization. Organizing your tasks with a list can make everything much more manageable and make you feel grounded. Seeing a clear outline of your completed and uncompleted tasks will help you feel organized and stay mentally focused. All CEOs understand the value organization has for them. And that's precisely why they organize their to-do list to incorporate only their 5 most important tasks for the day. On top of that, these tasks aren't simply random actions that they have to finish as fast as possible. They are structured precisely to prime their productivity as best as they can. Fourth trick, use airplane time for high-priority tasks. Time flying is time best spent sending emails or doing important organization tasks. And that's why CEOs spend most of their time on flight, be it commercial or in a private jet, doing their high-priority tasks. Fifth trick, keep meetings on time and on task. The truth about meetings is that sometimes they are a bit pointless. They waste crucial time saying things that could be said in less than 5 minutes. Yet they get everyone out of their productivity mindset and provide a breeding ground for office chit-chat, which, while not exactly deadly, will still decrease your productivity. Today's executives devote an average of 23 hours a week to them, while in the 60s, meetings took up less than 10 hours for the average executive. The more critical a meeting is, the more likely it is to stay on track. That's because these meetings have a specific goal attendees need to accomplish. Unnecessary meetings tend to be unfocused because they lack a specific goal. Avoid scheduling meetings for the sake of meeting up or just in case. If you can't define a reason to have a meeting, skip it. Most CEOs are quite aware of this fact and try to reduce meeting time for productivity and useful information only. Let's take a look at Elon Musk, a particularly notorious CEO who despises meetings. He has created 3 golden rules for meetings. Number 1, no large meetings. Number 2, if you're not adding value to a meeting, leave. And number 3, no frequent meetings. That way, his meetings are extremely productive. Sixth trick, outsource everything you can't be best in the world at. So, you know that you should be good at one thing. But truthfully, running a company requires many more things than a single person can possibly do, even if you were good at everything. There's only a set amount of time in the day to do things after all. That's why you need to outsource everything that you're not absolutely perfect at. There are many agencies and companies that help businesses and CEOs outsource tasks, such as content creation and customer service. And that's something every CEO is aware of. They try to make the outsourcing process as profitable as they can. CEOs outsource primarily to cut costs and increase their available time. But today, it is not only about cutting cost, but also about obtaining the benefits of strategic outsourcing, such as obtaining skilled expertise, reducing overhead, flexible staffing, and increasing efficiency, reducing turnaround time, and eventually generating more profit. 7th trick: mess creates stress. CEOs have to be pretty good at organization, and this one's not limited to just their daily workplace routine. Clutter in our office desk bombards our minds with excessive information, causing our senses to work on stimuli that aren't necessary or important. That's why we say that mess creates stress. Clutter distracts us by drawing our attention away from what our focus should be on. On top of that, messes distract us by drawing our attention away from what our focus should be on. And everyone knows it's extremely frustrating and takes your mind off your productivity mindset if you have to spend several minutes fumbling around your mess for a paper or a pen. 8th trick: you're about 200% more productive before anybody else arrives at the office and after everybody else leaves. Most CEOs, besides being wealthy and successful, also share another thing in common. They are at their most productive before anybody else arrives at the office, and doubly so after everybody else leaves. Ever wondered why some CEOs enjoy getting early to the office and also leave later than everyone else? That's because they get more things done in the silence and tranquility of the morning after their morning routine, or when the office is completely empty and silent at the end. As a bare minimum, you should arrive early enough to begin working immediately at your official start time. Your first paid minutes shouldn't be spent getting a coffee or chatting to colleagues. Avoid distractions at the beginning of your morning, and you'll see how you end up boosting your productivity at least 20 times. 9th trick: go to bed early and wake up early, 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. Well, if you're going to arrive at the office before everyone else, then it stands to logic that you need to wake up earlier than everybody to do so. It's a common feature among the most successful people in the world that they wake up really early in order to seize the day. Let's take a look at some examples. Apple CEO Tim Cook starts his mornings at 3:45 a.m. Ellevest CEO and co-founder Sally Krawcheck wakes at 4 a.m. And Oprah Winfrey, Michelle Obama, and Indra Nooyi have been known to rise at the crack of dawn. Most CEOs begin their morning run by exercising, by thanking or self-reflecting, meditating, or doing something that revs up their productivity engine as early as possible. Bill McNabb, who founded the Vanguard Group and works as its CEO, has a morning routine that hasn't changed in several decades. His routine includes waking up between 5 and 5:15 a.m., grabbing a cup of coffee on the way to work, and settling in at his desk between 5:45 and 6:15. Getting into the office early, he says, gives him crucial time for creative productivity. 10th trick: if you can do something in less than 2 minutes, just do it now. This part originally comes from David Allen's best-selling book, Getting Things Done. It states that if a task takes less than 2 minutes to complete, then follow the rule and do it right now. That's because these menial tasks that we believe are so fast that we can do them later end up stacking and wasting our time, besides making us procrastinate as a habit. And come on, it's just 2 minutes. It will literally only take you just that to finish it. So why not do it right now? So, will you be adding these productivity tricks used by the most successful CEOs in the world to improve your own productivity? Let us know in the comments.